Atreyu, like the artist. So I did just over 5. Hello and welcome to the Stammerer. This week we're going to be looking at the Puma Deviate Elite. Is this shoe still worth it in 2023? Let's find out. Today we're going to be looking at this Puma Deviate Elite. Now, I've been looking at the shoe for a little while now, and when this shoe very first was launched, I think this probably was around the same time as the Adidas Adizero Pro number 1, so this shoe kind of got fairly overlooked, and the reasoning for that as well is because I bought the Deviate, so the one with the inner plate inside this shoe, and it's not a true carbon plate in this shoe, and it's got a, so this was their kind of first attempt at a carbon plated super shoe, Puma foam shoe, and initially I thought the shoe was okay, and then over time it quickly transpired that this basically wasn't the shoe kind of for me. I paid full price for this shoe and it came out at £150, and it wasn't all that great. The foam was okay, but in the shoe, for whatever reason, I just found the foam to be quite dead actually. It rubbed on the heel counter as well, and I think a lot of people experience that with this shoe. So fast forward, the Elite was out and it just got overlooked, you know, and the price point I think was around 180 to £200, and considering I had the standard model, I just didn't think that the upgrade and the price point was kind of worth the money. So looking around the deals at this time of year, and I wanted to try something that I hadn't, and I looked at a couple of shoes and I found this on Start Fitness. I'm not sponsored by Start Fitness at all, and this shoe was purchased with my own cash, and I managed to pick this up for £71 and 10 pence. So the stats: and already in hand I can see and feel, I can feel certainly how light the shoe is compared to the standard model. So I think the standard model comes in at about 9 ounces, and I think 9.5 ounces, and the upper is okay. It's definitely more like a boot upper, and it does rub. And sadly, this has gone to the bottom of my list of shoes to get. If you can pick it up and you want to try the standard model, then I would say if you could pick this up for about 50-60 pounds, then I would say that it's kind of okay to pick up. I like the foam on these shoes. I just don't like the implementation on this particular shoe, and I don't know why, because it's the same foam as the Velocity and the Liberate. In hand, you can basically see the upper. So the upper is really, really light, and you can actually see your hand through the upper. So for a race shoe, I would say already that's a good thing, because it suggests that it's light. What seems to be the way with these elite shoes, less tends to be more. So in some respects, you're getting less for what you pay for, but in terms of what it's supposed to do, you get more. So this is more tuned. And holding them side by side, I can already see that this is definitely a more geared at a race type shoe. The foam actually in hand feels slightly softer. This is the elite foam compared to the standard Puma foam. So between the two, I don't know why this is an elite foam, but I'll test it on when I take this out for a run. The upper feels quite good. The tongue is construction in terms of that is sewn in a little bit, so not quite a sock-like tongue, but it is stitched in and part of the upper as one. The outsole looks to be kind of typical, looks to be actually a slight difference on the outsole. The grip, Puma grip, compared to Puma grip on standard. This seems to be a bit more coarse and just a bit more thick, and it really looks like it's really, really thick. And this includes the Liberate and the Velocity as well. This stuff, the grip on this is fantastic. Now this just a hand just feels just a little bit more, slick, and again this is to reduce the weight, and it just feels like a stripped back, streamline version of the standard